One of the big goals here for Mark Carney is for Canada to double exports to countries other than the United States over the next decade. He says it'll generate $300 billion in trade. It's going to be very difficult, though, to actually do because the U.S. is such a dominant market for us. The speech last night did not include any major new commitments, but it did shed some light on key themes guiding Carney's plan, including, of course, diversifying trading partners and toughening up or tightening the immigration system as well. David McLaughlin is standing by. David is a former chief of staff to Brian Mulroney. David, good to see you on this Thursday. Thanks for your time and your patience as we were bringing our viewers that news conference on the Blue Jays.
Go Jays, go.
Your reaction to Prime Minister Mark Carney's speech last night, David?
Well, let me put it to you this way, Todd. At a time of consequential moment in the country, at a time like no other, really, the Prime Minister gave a speech just like any other. I mean, it was a fairly conventional speech. In a live address, it got billed as a live address to Canadians, just a short time before a very big budget is coming forward. Great economic uncertainty. And I don't think it really matched the moment. I mean, there was nothing wrong with it. It was solid. It was, substantive in tone and everything else. But you've highlighted the only new thing that came out of it, which is diversifying to our trade and trying to double that over the next 10 years to non-U.S. economy. So I think it was a bit of a missed opportunity to persuade and rally Canadians around what we need to do to really get through this very fraught economic time that we're having.
What do you make of the language the Prime Minister is using, David, these days when he's talking about the upcoming budget? Is he preparing Canadians for major program or service cuts?
Well, I think the language is still in flux, and it's a bit of mixed language. We will spend less but invest more. Right. And he's trying to say, well, we're going to spend less on operational stuff of government. So, yes, it could be cuts, but we're going to invest more in these kinds of generational infrastructure investments and that sort of thing. So it's a bit of mixed messaging on that front. And if we're going to be about cuts and reduction of services, why is the government telegraphing that the budget deficit will be so large, will grow even more? And it will necessarily grow because they're spending more. The economy is slowing, so revenue is down, but they're also spending more in defense and some other, priorities. So we'll have to wait and see, frankly, on it. But, I mean, there was this sacrificial kind of language. He's trying to say, yes, things are going to be different. There's going to be some change. But he really didn't spell out in specific terms what that is going to mean to Canadians, even what it's going to look like.
One other question for you. The Prime Minister saying, and I'm paraphrasing, we're going to have to do less of the things we may want to do and more of the things we need or have to do, David. What's the takeaway there? What does that mean?
I would say at this moment, less money going to expansive social programs that we've seen in the last Trudeau government, more going to sort of brick and mortar kind of investment, and also national defense, which is a new emerging priority. So, and perhaps less into building sort of more bureaucracy and more government and more public servants, if you will, which we saw a great rise under the Trudeau government. So a shift that way. But we'll have to wait and see for the budget to really know because the Prime Minister didn't really spell it out last night.
David McLaughlin, former Chief of Staff to Prime Minister Brian Mulroney in Ottawa today. Good to see you, David. Thank you.
Thank you, Todd.